arm drag. I'm looking to stuff the head, sprawl, and go for a takedown of my own. So he takes the takedown of his choice, whatever he wants to shoot. And now from here, I start thinking about pushing on his head and keeping his hips at bay with the goal of getting to this position. So this is a good example. He has a head outside. I'm gonna try to navigate to a situation where his head is on the inside. I'm blocking it with my hands and my other hand is pushing on his hips. And from here, I can kind of ride out his takedown and look to either disconnect or get a score of my own. We're gonna look at a specific situation where top guy manages to go to a sprawl, put the guy in on the leg, takes you up to what we call the waterfall position. We're gonna find out how to defend that position, okay? So my partner takes a single leg. If it's head outside, I can shove the head inside, find a way to get it inside by sprawling and get back to a head inside. And now I'm doing everything right. I'm pushing on his head and I'm keeping his hip away and I'm keeping my hips over his head so he can't pop out this way or pop out this way and take me down. But he does manage to unlock his hands, use this hand to push himself up and get me to this position where my hips are over my shoulders. Now from here, the first thing I'm gonna look for, and we're just gonna do this for a very short time, is I'm gonna push on the floor first, backwards, then on his hips and his legs, and just get back to a regular sprawl. And then from here, I look to get his hands unlocked and go for all my offense there. He's in on a shot, I'm doing everything right, and he pops me up over the top. I wanna get my weight back, block his thighs, and now you lock your hands and get back to a sprawl. Again, here I use my hand to keep his hip away. I use my hand to keep his head at bay as I try to get his hands unlocked. When his hands come unlocked, now it's open season for go behinds, for guillotines, all sorts of attacks. One thing you see too often is people going for front headlock attacks too soon while people are still in on their legs. And yeah, I grab a guillotine, I fall back to try to finish it. He hops over, finds a way to finish the takedown. All sorts of things happen. So even if we like those front headlock submissions like guillotines, anacondas, darces, we want to get our legs free first before we try them. He gets in on a shot, I'm doing everything right, and I get to this position that we're always looking for. Now, if I keep my shoulders high above my hips here, it's going to be really hard for him to lift. So this is like perfect position here. But if I get a little sloppy and I start draping over, he can start lifting me up. So I'm just going to use my hands to walk back, post on his thighs, kind of grab my leg, kind of extend my hips here and fall back into a sprawl. And then from here, you can look for a sub or a score, whatever you prefer. I wanted you guys to feel that because that's kind of the most high percentage option that you should be going for. Just getting back to your baseline defense is always going to be a good way to go about it. But now we're going to get into what to do when you can't do that and some of the funkier stuff. It is kind of hard to teach scrambling because it's always different, and like the way that you actually end up getting a score or whatever happens is always very indicative of what situation you're in and what your partner's doing, right? So it's hard to say like step 1, step 2, step 3. It's more like I'm looking for these things and I have to kind of be creative and find out how do I get these things in the positions that I find myself in, right? So now when he lifts me up and I feel like I can't get my weight back, I'm gonna look at attacking ankles from here. Now I have options of attacking near ankle or far ankle. The far ankle is always gonna be best, but sometimes he's gonna come up on this foot and I'm forced to attack near ankle. All right, so we'll go over both, but just know that if you can get the far ankle, that's always gonna be the best option that you have. Now from here, one thing I can look to do is I look to pop my hips so his wrist goes like above his shoulder and it kind of hurts his shoulder there. It's kind of an awkward position for him to hold me in. So I get a grip on this far ankle, I pop my hips and I fall on this side here. Now, the way my elbow is positioned right now is no good. I'm not putting the correct pressure to keep him on his hands. If I stay here, he could just pop up real quick, stand up and get away from me, right? So come back to that same position. Once I get here, my elbow needs to come underneath his butt and I need to wedge it on the outside of his hamstring. And I need to kind of cross his legs like if I'm trying to make him do a triangle like this, right? So this kind of keeps weight on his hands and gives me time to switch my hands and look to palm my head in and look for a score. I'm in. I'm like, all right, he's down on both knees, so far ankle is going to be available for me. I'm going to pop my hips, fall to this side, and get my elbow underneath his butt and start using it to push weight forward, forward, forward. As I do that, I've changed my hip direction, and I'm looking to pass this off. Now I can pommel my elbow on the inside, and I can look to attack turtle or look to tap the far knee and get his hips down to the mat in a position to kind of attack him from here. He picks me up, far ankle's there. I pop my hips. Sometimes I can get both of my feet on one side of his head, right? So I can pommel my other foot and use it to get leverage. He wants my hip tied to his shoulder here. So I can sometimes use my other thigh to get that hip off the shoulder. Lets me slide off a little easier. Now from here, I get my elbow in his butt, push forward, switch my hands, and look for his back. Preferably doing something that's gonna knock a hip to the ground. That's gonna be the best way to stop him from scrambling back. I'm getting my legs both on one side so I can disconnect my hip from his shoulder. This is very different than this. This is way better for me, right? So I go over the top, head pommels, I can slip off. Find ways to get him on his side. Like I said, sometimes they step that leg up and near ankle is gonna be all you can reach, right? So I'm here, he picks me up, he gets up on this leg, and now I can't really reach this. He might step it a little farther. Yeah, there, now I can't really reach it. I get his near ankle now, and I slide off his hips, and now I'm looking to pick this ankle up and shelf it with my leg here. Sometimes I can pin it to his butt, but most of the time he'll kind of turn into me a little bit, and we end up kind of like here. This is more often what will happen. And from here, whatever I can reach first, whether it's the front of this knee or this far ankle again, which we're always looking for, I can use this to run him down and get a score. Far ankle's not available, he comes up and immediately builds up, right? So now I'm hanging on for dear life here. Like this can get rough here. I'm trying to grab the ankle however I can. I feel like inside would be best, but this all happens very fast, right? So I'm here, I just grab the ankle, I pop my hips off, and then from here, you just gotta figure it out, man. From here, like there's all sorts of things that could happen. You could get it perfect and go here. He could try to sit back into you and you might have to, that's kind of the spot where it all goes crazy and you have to be creative, but the idea is this all happens very fast. He comes up, I'm diving, and then now I have to figure out how I'm gonna score. Yeah, he takes a shot. I got head to the inside, I'm sprawling. He gets me up. Yeah, here maybe maybe that's the option, right? You just gotta figure it out. These situations are all highly variable and it all happens very quickly. So the next thing I want to mention is that the far ankle and near ankle battle is all relative to what side you're falling off to, right? I always feel more comfortable falling off to the same side where my hip's already at. I feel like, I don't know, I'm kind of closer to this side already. If I can slip this, I feel really, really good, right? But if I feel like I'm falling to the other side, there's nothing wrong with doing the same kind of popping my hips over his head and falling over to the side. Just like what ankle is the far ankle and what ankle is the near ankle kind of switches now, right? So if he picks me up and I feel like I'm falling over to this side, that's fine. I can go far ankle stuff on that side even though I'm grabbing what was the near ankle a second ago, right? Or same thing, like if he for whatever reason is picking this leg up, I can go near ankle on this side, go the other way and go for what was the far ankle, but now I'm doing near ankle type stuff. So he started off with a single, he picks me up and grabs both, right? This is a situation where it might be weird to go this way, or maybe I want to start going this way and then pop and go the other way. So both ways are right. It all works. Just know from these positions, things happen quickly. Just dive for ankles and then try to turn around and finish the takedown while keeping those ankles, right? Everybody got it? Let's just drill that. Kind of like you can also fall to the other side for a little bit. So let's try that. All right, 1, 2, 3.